Hi, this is Russell Stunner from teachertrainingvideos.com. I don't know if you feel like some of these teachers who have written to me do. I've had many emails like this. I just chose 3, and I actually work with a number of schools, and a lot of the teachers that I talk to within those schools are also struggling with teaching online, and they're finding it very tiring. They find that they seem to be working all day. They find that it's very hard to organise their students because there are emails coming in, and there's things on, for example, in Google Docs, and then there's other things in a Dropbox. People are looking for all types of solutions. So what I'm going to try and do is give you some really specific tips, very much related to what I do to try to organise my online teaching and to keep it under control. As always, if you like the video, please like it. Please share with other teachers. I think it's really important that we do that at the moment. Leave any comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. And finally, if you like my work and you want to follow me, come to teachertrainingvideos.com, sign up to the newsletter and join me on my YouTube channel. Right, let's get started. When we teach online, there's always 2 components to what we do. We have a live session using something like Zoom or Click Meeting or Adobe Connect. And then we normally have a platform where the students go to do their homework, do their assignments. Now that platform is really important, which is the reason I've made it bigger in the image, because for me the platform plays a bigger role than the live session. And what I'm seeing a lot is teachers doing loads and loads of live sessions, trying to kind of keep up with the classroom, but actually not organising their students on a platform. Now, a typical platform would be something like Edmodo, Schoolology, It's Learning, Moodle, Blackboard. These are platforms that basically do 3 things. They organise your students so you can message them, so you've got an immediate way of kind of setting up all the organisation, like how you set assignments, how you contact them and message them. It also is a place where all the content can be found, so that if the students missed a class, lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, etc., all the content is there. And then the other thing these platforms do is that they normally provide students with opportunities to do activities, so discussions and quizzes, etc. So there's lots and lots of reasons why it's really important to have a platform. Let me just show you very quickly the platform that I tend to use a lot in my teacher training courses. So this is the platform that I use. Just going to give you a really quick example. So if I come down here to this course that I was running, and you can see that this course, here is the area where I can basically write to all my students. If I want to send a kind of general message, or I want to share some content with them, I can just do that really easy. It's almost works like Facebook. I can see all the members of the group by just clicking here. I can contact members individually by coming up to the messages. I can organise all my folders for my classes, so I can just create folders and give the students all the content, or the teachers in this case, all the content that they need. All of this in one place. I can even track my students and go to the progress and see, for example, if they've all been doing the quizzes and the assignments that I've been setting. So this really makes everything kind of easy for me, because it means I've got a one-stop shop where I can basically organize my students, and I can even create things like assignments and quizzes for them, etc. So it really is useful, particularly having the folders, particularly having this ability to immediately share content with them. And of course, it's just like Facebook. Students can reply to any questions that I put up onto the screen. It's absolutely vital that you have some kind of platform. Now, if you're a school that doesn't provide a platform, Edmodo or Schoolology might be the solution. One thing about the platform that you've got to make clear, and I do this when I'm working with my students, is that all contact should be on the platform. And I always make the rule that I will be getting back to my students within 24 hours, or at the weekends, obviously, no. So from Friday until Monday, I won't be replying. And this is a really good rule to keep to, otherwise you can end up just be working online all the time. So really set that out right from the beginning, 9 to 5 every day, or whatever your timetable is. Only use the platform for the way that you contact your students, so no emails, no sharing stuff in other ways. Always keep it on the platform and make it clear that you'll reply within 24 hours. Now, that's the way I run nearly all my courses. I do admit that sometimes I work at the weekends, but then that's a bonus for the students. If I reply to them, then I make it absolutely clear that at the weekends I generally don't work. Another thing to think about is how we connect lessons. So this is happening less and less. Teachers are getting better at this. I've noticed in some of the lesson plans that I've been looking at on the training courses I'm running. But think about what you want the students to do in preparation for a lesson. If you can get them to do a reading beforehand, or watch a video beforehand, or study something, that means that when you bring them into the Zoom class or into the live session, if you've got breakout rooms, you can put them in breakout rooms and then get them to discuss or do an activity around what you've set them to do for homework. So it's a really good idea when you plan an online course to think really carefully about what it is you want the students to do before, what it is you want the students to do during, because another nice thing to do is sometimes during the lesson to shift off and get them to do something else online and then come back into the Zoom class, and that gives you a bit of free time. I'm going to show you a couple of examples in a minute. So really think about the kind of way you plan a lesson. And I think at the beginning everyone was thinking about the Zoom class. They were teaching online, doing a live lesson, and they weren't really thinking about the broader plan. In fact, one thing that I often do is I use the platform. So I will, in the live session, get the students to go onto the platform, do a quiz, or get involved in the discussion, or even do an assignment, and then I'll bring that back into the Zoom class. So the way that you connect a lesson together is really, really important. So let me give you an idea what I mean. I'm using a tool called Padlet here, and I use this quite a lot when I'm teaching online, and it's a kind of brainstorming electronic corkboard. And I'm just going to select a typical one, so we'll use this one here, which is just a wall. Okay, it's really worth looking at this technology because it's got lots of options. And I'm going to put the question here, and it's going to be simply, we're talking about pollution. Okay, and I'm going to write the question, how can we reduce pollution? Simple as that. Very simple question. So I've made the question. There's nothing else for me to do. There are some great settings, but you can look at those. I'm going to click on next, and then I'm click on start posting. Now all I need to do is to give the students this link. So I give them this link so that they can now link to this Padlet, and they can just double click on the screen, write their name, and then give their opinion. So they might say, for example, I think they should ban cars in the center of the cities. Okay, so that might be one person, and someone else might come on, double click onto the screen, they're going to put their name, and then they're going to write their answer. Okay, we should reduce, for example, use of plastic. Now the nice thing about an activity is like this is that while the students are doing the activity, you can actually open up Padlet and see exactly what the students are writing. It takes the focus away from you, and once you've then collected all their opinions together, you can use that for a discussion. For example, let's say you might ask the students to scan through and look for the best argument, or look for the most common argument, or etc. You know, so you can do activities where you take the pressure off yourself and get the students doing an activity, which means you are not continually actually teaching all the time when using tools like Zoom. So I've mentioned to you that there are normally two components of an online course, the platform and the live delivery. Now the platform could be something like Moodle or Edmodo or Schoology, but it could be the publisher's platform that could also do the job. So you don't need to learn Edmodo or Schoology or Moodle, but rather learn to use the publisher's platform. That can be a massive time saver because the publisher's platforms already have loads of content on them related to the book that you're using. That way you can get the students for homework, to do assignments, to do quizzes, to do activities. You can track exactly what they've done. Normally there's a way of communicating with you on the platform as well, so the students can message you. So it really is a place where the students can do activities, they can get content, and you can also kind of organize them. And the powerful thing is that you can start relating that to your live lessons. So again, students watching videos at home, reading articles at home, you could even use the platform in the lesson. while you're doing the Zoom lesson. There's nothing wrong with sending the students off to do an activity and then to come back into the Zoom class. And remember, you can screen share and actually go to the platform and see what scores they got, what problems they had with the questions or the quizzes or activities that you sent them. So using a publisher's platform is really useful, and in fact that's exactly what I do on my Polish courses. I have a book, but I have a platform as well, and that's where I do all my homework and all my extra activities outside of the class. So we've got the platform, we've got the live session. You really do need those two things. It could be a publisher's platform, or it could be a platform like Schoology or Edmodo. Those are the two key technologies you need. Then you need to learn, maybe in the long run, one or two other technologies that you can build into the class. Certainly for me, the most useful technology that I use after the platform and the live teaching tool is screencast technology. And I'm going to show you 3 or 4 examples of why this technology is so useful and why it's so easy, and it's free. So let me just quickly show you why this would be worth learning. For me personally, screencast recording technology is the most useful technology I've ever used as a teacher. I continually use it, especially in my online courses. I'm using it now to actually make this video with you, though I'm using something a little bit more sophisticated because obviously I want to do a fairly high quality video. But this tool, Screencast-O-Matic, which offers a free version or a very reasonably priced upgraded version, is a great tool to use. Just click on free, launch free recorder. This is going to allow you basically to turn anything you open in on your screen into a learning asset. You could talk over a PowerPoint, you could talk over an image or a graph, a grammar explanation, go through explaining some kind of process. All you need to do is open up the recorder as you saw me do, minimize the page, because obviously you don't want to record the page, you're still going to have the recorder open. I've got here an example. I've just got some vocabulary that's come up in a lesson today, and I want to give the students some feedback. So I'm going to make this video and then send it to everybody. So I click on record, and I'm just going to go through the words. Okay, just having a few words today that you're having trouble with. The first one, photographer, photographer. However, don't forget we say photograph, photograph. So the stress changes from photographer, second syllable, to photograph, first syllable. Second one, let's look at this one. Yeah, preference, preference. So the stress is on the first syllable, preference. However, we say prefer. I prefer something. Stress is on the second syllable. So you can see I've done the video. I click on done, and the video is immediately ready. So let's just play that. Okay, just having a few words today that you're having trouble with. The first one, photographer. And you can see how easy that it is for me to make a video. I could save that now on my computer and then send it to the students. I can even upload it onto the Screencast-O-Matic kind of video repository, or I could put it straight onto YouTube if I added in my Gmail account. So this technology, I use it to give feedback to students. I use it to summarize discussions. I use it often to explain if I've got a difficult piece of homework that I want the students to do, exactly what they want to do. I use it sometimes to model things. So for example, if I'm trying to get the students to learn how to do a PowerPoint slide, I might actually record myself doing a few pages of a PowerPoint slide and send that as a model. I often use it if I want to go through a grammar explanation or explain to students how they organise an essay, etc. This really can be a time saver because you can make these quick videos and send them out to all of the students, send it via email, or even, as I said, share it onto a repository and then share the link. So of all the technologies I use when I'm teaching online, certainly this is one of the most useful. And it's also really useful when I'm teaching and I want to perhaps not always be doing a Zoom class. So I might pre-record a lesson and put that onto Edmodo or onto Moodle, and that way the students can access the content that I've created for them. I hope that was useful, and the key message I'm trying to give you, I know it's a lot of work, I understand that, and I can see that teachers are already working massively, but you do need those two things. You need to learn to be able to do a live session, so you've got kind of teacher presence and teacher contact, but you also need some kind of platform to organise the students. And then there's a couple of other technologies that I was trying to show you there that can really help you to lighten your load. when you're working, particularly when you're doing, say, general feedback to students, etc. If you like the video, then please come to teachertrainingvideos.com. Lots more free content here along the top of the screen. We've got a special section on Edmodo, and there's also a section on Zoom. And if you want to, you can follow me by signing up to my newsletter. That way you keep up with all the new videos, the blog posts I write, the webinars I run, and the online courses. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel. And if you do want to contact me, if you're looking for private lessons, one-on-one, online, of course, I have a great way of running online courses, and I'm doing quite a lot of private lessons at the moment. And of course, that can be one-to-many or one-to-one. Then please just contact me. And thank you very much.